Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to discuss a very basic but interesting topic of ecosystem ecology, and this is all about food webs. Okay, and before we will start discussing the concept of food webs, let us first of all try to explain some of the drawbacks of food chains. What are the drawbacks of explaining energy and matter flow in natural ecosystems with the help of food chains? Actually, food chains in natural ecosystems, they are never linear, or the presence of linear food chains in natural ecosystems is very रेयर. ठीक है, अगर है भी बहुत रेयर है. ठीक है, असल में नेचर में क्या होता है, यू आर हैविंग ए नंबर ऑफ फूड चेन्स एंड दीज फूड चेन्स आर इंटरलिंक्ड टू ईच अदर at various trophic levels, and this creates a network like pattern or web like pattern, and this web like pattern which explains the energy of flow of energy and matter in ecosystems, this is known as the food web. This is the simplest definition of food web. Now you know that the food chains cannot exclusively explain the energy flow and matter flow in ecosystems. It is the food webs that explains this. Okay, why food webs come into being, why food webs form in natural ecosystems? मैं आपको एक चीज़ बता दूं, जो फूड वेब्स है वो इसलिए बनती है बिकॉज यू आर हैविंग ए डाइवर्सिटी ऑफ ऑर्गेनिजम्स एट ईच ट्रॉपिक लेवल. इसको मैं आपको ऐसे बताऊंगा. से फॉर एग्जांपल यू आर हैविंग ए फॉरेस्ट, एंड इन ए फॉरेस्ट यू आर हैविंग द हर्बीवोर ट्रॉपिक लेवल, and herbivore tropic level is represented by a number of herbivores which are of different types. For example, you can have deer, you can have a rabbit, you can have a rat, you can have sheep, you can have birds. So the carnivores are having a number of options available. A carnivore does not always feed on a deer. It can at times eat a rat. It can at times eat a bird. That means the energy is not getting transferred in a linear fashion. Instead, it is moving in a network like fashion, and this network like fashion is nothing but a food web. Okay, it is a food web, and so you can say that in natural ecosystems, several food chains which operate simultaneously. You are having a number of food chains, and they are operating simultaneously at the same time, but they are interlinked with each other and they form a food web. Okay, here you can appreciate the food webs, why food webs come into being in natural ecosystems by looking at this simple image. Here let's take the example of wild cat. Okay, let's take the example of wild cat. This wild cat, it is having a number of options available. For example, it can feed on this rabbit, and it can also feed on this mouse. Okay, that means it is having a number of options available, and because of this diversity, because of this ample number of options, the energy and matter is moving in a network like pattern, and this network like pattern is known as food web. Okay, and one more way of explaining this is, let us take an example of a snake. A snake can feed on a frog, or it can eat a rat or any other rodent species. Okay, that means the snake is not always having a single option. Had it been the case, then we would have said that the energy and matter is flowing in ecosystems in a linear sequence, that means food chains. And even it has been observed that the same organism may be eaten by several organisms of a higher trophic level. For example, you are having here, this is one carnivore, second carnivore, third carnivore, fourth carnivore. Okay, and you are having here herbivores, and this herbivore, this may be eaten by both this and this. Okay, even the same organism which belongs to a lower trophic level, it may be eaten by a number of organisms which are at the higher trophic level. And all these things, these led to the formation of food webs. And food webs are actually more realistic in explaining They are the more realistic ways of explaining the energy flow and matter flow in ecosystems. And this is all about the concept of food webs. I hope you all understand this. And next time, inshallah, we will start discussing, we'll start explaining the ecological pyramids. Okay. Till then, God bless you. Thank you all.